Tell it as it is, with your hosts, Leon George and Leary McRae.
Real talk, real issues.
Welcome, and thank you all very much for tuning in at this time to the #1 internet station around the globe at this time. My name is Leon George, and with me tonight is John Kellman out of Barbados. And you are listening to the program Tell It Like It Is. First, let me apologize for last week that we didn't have a program, circumstances beyond our control, and we hope to make up for it tonight. Tonight, we have a very interesting topic lined up for you. And that topic, I know, is going to simulate a lot of discussion. And I wanted to pay close attention to the topic at hand tonight because next week, coming up, it's a very similar topic. It's not the same, but it's similar. So pay close attention to the topic at hand tonight. The topic at hand tonight is, if due to an illness, you is unable to perform your sexual duty, would you give consent to your partner seeking that sexual satisfaction that you is unable to perform due to an illness? I know what many of you are saying tonight, and certainly you're going to have your opportunity to call in and give your views. You can also send us an email or even Skype us. You can even contact us at Facebook. So I want to take this opportunity now to introduce my my co-host tonight, John, out of Barbados. John, are you there?
Hello, I am here. Let me say a very good night to all on frequency. And we are now looking at a global village, which we would have called the world. And we are certainly going to welcome your calls, your emails, as George has said, and we hope to do justice to the subject. Thank you very much, and we look forward to sharing a wonderful evening with you. John, out of Barbados.
Thank you, John. So, yes, the topic tonight is, if due to an illness, you is unable to perform your sexual duties in your relationship, would you give consent to your partner seeking that sexual comfort or that sexual relationship outside of your marriage? This is a topic that I will leave my personal view on it for now. But I want to get the views of you, the listeners, on this matter. Take into consideration that many of you listening right now will not have the same views on this. Some of you may have a view on this according to your religious doctrine, and that's all well and good. Bear in mind that you are not the only one with a view on it. So while expressing your view, I don't think you should express your view that your view should be the only view and the view that is correct, and everybody else's opinion on this situation, on this issue here that we're going to be discussing here tonight, is really what you might call a wrong point of view, because it does not be in harmony. It's not in harmony with the view that you hold about this topic tonight. You know, I know what marriage is. I know the importance of a relationship. And I know this is an issue that's going to come up, the importance of a relationship. And you're going to talk about commitment and devotion to one another and all of this. Yes, all of that is true. But sex is a very, very important function in a relationship. It's very important to a love relationship. While sex is not love, love must have a bit of sex in it. If you go back into the Bible, especially in the Old Testament, and when it is described about knowing somebody, you're talking about when you have a sexual relationship with somebody, you said you know them. You know? So that's why sex is something that makes a connection. It's an intimate form of communication. And I know how it's important. And it's a very, very important function in a relationship. One has to look at how much you consider your partner. Is it right to do it or not? Let your partner know because it wouldn't hurt because they don't know? Or are you going to be brutally honest to your partner and say, look, I can't go on in this relationship and not have sex. I'm not going to leave you. I'm going to stay with you. But as you see, we can't have sex. We can't have no sexual activities. I'm a human being with blood and vein flowing through my body. And I'm a sexual being. I have a need for sex. While sex is not really a necessity in life, it's a habit. We develop that habit from the time of the physical changes take part in our body and our hormones start to grow and so on. It's a need that we all have. And it's no time to deny that. And I think in a relationship, it's better you hurt someone honestly than mislead them with lies. So if you know you are going to do it, I think it's better you tell the person that you are going to have a sexual relationship outside. Instead of saying, I am going to do it, but you know what, I'm not going to tell my partner because if I tell my partner, it's going to hurt them. So I'll do it and don't let them know. Well, I think that is equally wrong. To deceive someone you love. To make them feel that you would not do something or you're not doing something and you are doing it. I will go the way of being brutally honest. So your partner know where you stand. Your partner know exactly what you're doing, even though it hurts. Because it's going to hurt a lot more when your partner find out that you are not being faithful and honest to them. If you know you can't be faithful and you're not to your partner, I think it's better to tell your partner that than to have your partner believing that you are going to be faithful and believing that one day your partner find out. So my concept again is, it's better you hurt someone honestly than mislead them with lies. John?
Yes, thank you very much, George. You have given your bit, and now I would like to make an address on the same subject. Oh, what a tall order this is tonight. Now, if I could look carefully at what's before us, if you were to suffer an illness that rendered you totally incapable of performing the sex act, would you consent to your spouse seeking sexual satisfaction elsewhere? I am glad that the word would is there and not should. This here gives me a chance to look at it through my eyes. And like you said, George, we will talk about this a little later on in more depth as we probably draw nearer to how we would deal with it, rather than waiting for the opinion of all the others. And like you said, we need to respect each other's view on the situation. Well, I was asking the question to a couple of friends of mine here in Barbados when I got the assignment. And I got a number of different answers and decisions. But there was one that really impressed me. And it was a female friend of mine. She listened to it and she looked me straight in the face and gave me her opinion. I was so impressed by what she said that I wanted to share it with our friends here tonight. And she said, "My body is mine. It is all that I can call my own. I do not share it with any highest bidder, but only with the one whom I am comfortable in feeling that he justly deserves to share it with me. However, a price is attached, and that price is love." I thought this was wonderful. I know she's listening. I promised her faithfully that I would share her opinion with our group tonight, and I have kept my word. Thank you very much, Grace. I believe that you must be thrilled that the world has now heard your opinion. And that has given me a kind of a launching pad for my presentation. Listening to that, I have decided, let me build everything I have on this foundation. It isn't that I didn't think that way and that I am only now getting it, but I kind of like it. Now, when I look at this discussion we've got tonight, a number of things cross my mind. Number one, there are a number of factors involved. Gender has a lot to do with it. Women may feel differently about this situation than men. I'm not here to say which one is right, which one is wrong, but I know that women would feel differently about this than men would. I don't know how the ball may swing, but definitely gender is a factor to look at. Secondly, the society from which we come. And we could divide this into 3 different chapters. The monogamous society. The society where it is a one man, one woman. Such a culture happened to be the one in which we live, so I believe that our focus tonight will be on that one, because we are from a monogamous society. There is the polyandrous society, where a woman is permitted to have a number of husbands. And there is the polygamous society, where a man is allowed to have a number of wives. Now, it is obvious that in these societies, the question that is before us would have a different impact. Because in the polyandrous society where a woman can have 2, 3 or so husbands, if one of those became incapacitated, totally so, it is obvious she's got 3 others to look at. So it would not impact on her as it would on the monogamous couple. Likewise, the polygamous, where the man is permitted to have 2, 3 or so wives. If one of those became, he would have no problem, because there are 3 others that he could handle. So the problem is with the monogamous society, where we have vowed to having one woman, one man relationship. And when you have built up that courage and that sort of lifestyle, that relationship, something like this would obviously be devastating. How do you say to your wife or to your husband, as the case may be, I am unable. I don't like it, but you may go with someone else. Sounds like a straight answer we could give this. No.
I want to come in there.
Yes, okay, go ahead.
I think to do that is an act of courage, is an act of unselfishness. To say yes, if you give consent to your husband or wife to go and have that relationship elsewhere, that relationship, that sexual relationship that you cannot give to her, will be an act of the most unselfish thought. Because here is you, thinking not about yourself, about the other person. And you will know that, here, I want my wife or my husband to be happy at all costs. It's important to me, very important to me, that you be happy. Now, if you place this question to a couple that is 28 years old, just married around 5 years, 3 to 5 years, and you place the same question to a couple within age of 55 to 58 or even 60, who had married for 25 years, I don't know if the answer will be the same. Or 30 years, you know. So what I'm saying to you, I don't know in an older couple and within a younger couple, because within a younger couple, what I do know, the sacrifice is going to be greater to say, look, we are married for better or for worse, and here's my husband, there's no intimacy taking place between us because of his illness, no sex or nothing. You know what? I am going to stick with my husband for the rest of our life because I have taken a vow for better or for worse. By doing that, that's a tremendous sacrifice. And anyone who could do that certainly deserves my admiration. However, I do know it's extremely hard, and there are a lot of people who's going to pretend that they could make the sacrifice and they will seek the relationship on the outside, but they would not tell the partner. They would like the partner to believe that they are being honest. I said, if you know you can't do it, tell your partner like it is. Be brutally honest. Don't mislead your partner with lies. And go ahead.
Yeah, no, make your point and let me come in there.
And you see, because what I'm saying to you here, we are physical beings, we are sexual beings, we are already getting to, that time you are getting to the habit of sex. Sex is not really a must, but it's a habit. And we will want that. We have a need and a desire for it. And to know that your partner can't really comfort you in that area, you will be feeling like you're missing something in your life. You'll be suffering a loss. And I believe, it's my belief, that we should be the most unselfish when coming to this. You can't do the letter. You should give your partner consent if he or she wants to go and seek it elsewhere.
Okay,
Discuss
George,
it.
Let me rebut to that. I see it diametrically opposite to you. And I'll tell you why. And I'm not talking about the marriage vow because people say that because they're told to say it. I don't think people really mean it. Which will bring us to a point where one day we can discuss this marriage vow. I personally think that should be revisited. But listen to me, George. When two people become married, let's use the word married for convenience. There are 3 pronouns that they abandon, dispose of. They are no longer in your vocabulary. You get rid of them. And those 3 pronouns are I, me, and mine. You replace them with we, us, ours. And if you are telling me, George, that 2 people have become marital partners, and for convenience, let us bring back in the marriage vow. You swore, whether you meant it or not, we will be here for each other in sickness or in health, for richer or for poorer, and for better or for worse, till death us do part, so help me God. Oh, what a tangle. Wait a minute, George.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, what a tangle web we weave when first we practice to deceive. If you say that, well, I would think that you should mean it. And if you would see a spouse of yours, either way, the man seeing the woman or the woman seeing the man, after some injury that is so traumatic that they are now rendered incapacitated, cannot even perform the sex act, and you're going to have pleasure with some other human creature, totally oblivious of what that would do to your partner, and you're telling me about being unselfish? Come on, George.
Yes, of course I'm telling you that.
George, that is the most selfish act I could ever think of, because you have no feeling for your partner who has not neglected you, who by reason of traumatic situation is unable, and you would shut your eye to that and move with another one. That is insensitive, not to say unkind.
I totally disagree 100%, and I'll tell you, I think it's not insensitive. In fact, it is very sensitive and very unselfish, as I said before. Because here is me. I can't have sex with my wife. My wife is 25 years old. Right? Just because I cannot have sex with her, she shouldn't have sex? What is that?
Can I rebut this?
I am supporting her to have sex. Because I will want... Just a minute. I will want her to support me because I will want it. She will want it. She is not leaving me. I will not leave her if she can't perform. If she can't perform a sexual duty, I am not leaving her. I am staying with her because that is my wife. We married and we said we're going to stick together. We're going to stick forever. Right? However, If there is a need in my life that you cannot provide, please do not be selfish. Please tell me, support me. Tell me go outside and get it. Don't put me through that, because I wouldn't put you through that. That is not selfish. I am not leaving you. We are staying together. But however, there is something I want. There are certain pleasure in my life is missing. You can't give me it. Please give me the opportunity to go and get it freely.
Can I ask you a question there?
Oh, sure, John.
Good. George is incapacitated. He had an accident. He can no longer have sex. His wife, Suzanne, he is consenting for her to have sexual satisfaction because he can't afford it. What is so wrong with you inviting the guy home at you and you sit there in the rocking chair and enjoy the scenery? Why don't you do that? Can you do that and feel comfortable? Can you do that and feel comfortable? And she is having sex right there in bed because you are unable to do it. So I love her so much that I can let her have it and you sit there and I'm still part of it. She's not hiding it from me. Can you do that?
Yes, I think about 10 years ago I would have said no. Let me tell you something.
Oh,
I met someone. Listen to me. Hold it. I met someone who was doing research for a particular book. And he told me that he actually did that with his wife. He was, not that he was incapacitated, but there was certain way he couldn't fulfill her. And he actually carried her to be fulfilled in what you call those swingers club. And he was happy to do it. At the time, I didn't agree with him. I didn't understand and such. But I am saying to you, John, it may sound very unusual. It may sound hard. I think if you love someone, you will want to see that person happy at all costs. I don't know if I will want to bring the guy home for me to hear them having sex. In fact, I may very well do it. I may very well enjoy them to hear them having sex and hear how happy she is and being fulfilled.
You're transparent, George.
And you see, the thing about it, there are times in life you have to think about the person's well-being, the person's happiness. Okay? And I think it's very selfish. It is very selfish not to give consent to your wife, or her wife not to give consent to the husband to have that sexual relationship outside or with the next person. I think it's very unselfish.
Well, let me tell you something, George. I don't know if in Trinidad that they use this cliche. I know you hear it in Barbados. Have you ever heard, if you haven't got a horse, you ride a cow? Have you ever heard that?
No, but I understand.
You understand.
I understand the analogy of that, but the thing about it.
Let me tell you something.
The thing about it. Cow.
Just a minute, George. My wife and I, if I haven't got money to buy whiskey, and I'm just using this as an analogy because we don't drink, but if I did not have money to buy whiskey, and my wife understands what our economic situation was like, we could go and buy a soda. It would hydrate us the same way, and it would even be better because we could drink more soda than we could drink whiskey. And if we really love each other, it is not like, say, a job. It is a relationship between two people. This is not I have a car and I don't like Ford. Let me try Austin. We're talking about two human beings who love each other, but because of an accident, you are telling me all of that relationship goes down the drain. I must have some sex he can't give me, so I am going now and have it elsewhere, and he is consenting and say, yes, darling, go ahead. You can even bring him here and let me feel good.